House Harkonnen, from the volcanic wasteland of Gidi Prime. The Harkonnen know only malevolence, hatred, and brutality. Their leader is the corrupt and vile Baron Rakan. Rakan's power-hungry sons, Gunsang and Kopek, eagerly await the Baron's death. Each plots to take his place, but while he lives, they feed upon him like parasites.
Have you no tongue? Perhaps you're wiser than your appearance dictates. I am the Mentat, Yanich Kobal. Have no fear. You are not to be killed. The Baron will postpone that small pleasure as long as you are of use to us. No doubt you've heard. The Baron Rakan is not well. Soon one of his sons will take his place. You do well to ingratiate yourself to them. They may not be as far-sighted as their father. This way.
It's to be war, sublime war. We will crush the Atreides and the Ordos, and then we will defile the bodies of their dead.
All hail the Punisher Emperor Rakan Harkonnen!
Your brother praises me, while he looms like a vulture waiting to feed upon my corpse. Could I ask for a more suitable heir?
You could ask.
Mother, can I get you something?
No, leave me! Leave me! Both of you! Why are you hovering there, Mentat? Step forward. What have you brought me?
It is the replacement you requested, my Lord Baron.
Doesn't look like much. If this one performs as badly as the last one, I'll have you strangled along with it. This sickness makes me forgetful.
It is your predecessor. Observe closely. This unappealing, waterless ball of dust is the planet Arrakis. But make no mistake, a handful of that dust is worth your life 100 times over. Now, your training begins. In the name of Gidi Prime, I welcome you. You have been given a rare opportunity, Commander. You've been chosen to command the Harkonnen forces in this war of assassins. A war that will determine the next heir to the Golden Lion throne, the next ruler of the known universe. Destroy the base, Commander. Kill the enemy. Remember, the destiny of House Harkonnen is tied to Arrakis and the Spice Melange. He who controls Arrakis controls the spice, and he who controls the spice controls the universe. House Harkonnen must control the spice. The enemy is on the attack.
The base is under attack.
The enemy is on the attack.
Training. Training. Building ready to place. Training.
Yes!
Training. Unit lost. The base is under attack. Unit lost. Training.
Yes! Yes! At once!
Destroy the base, Commander.
At once! At once!
Full power, Commander. Yes. Yes. Ready to kill.
Unit lost. Unit lost. The base is under attack. Unit lost. Training.
Yes.
Training. Training.
At once.
Training. 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 Training.
Yes.
Training.
Yes.
Training. Game saved.
Yes.
Training.
At once. At once.
Training.
Yes.
Unit lost.
At once. Yes. At once. Yes. Yes. At once. Yes. Yes. At once.
Kill the enemy.
Lost.
Yes.
Unit lost.
Yes. At
Unit
once.
lost.
At once. At once.
Unit lost.
Yes. At once. At once.
Unit lost.
Yes.
Training. 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 Training.
Yes. At once.
Training.
Attack. Attack.
Training.
Attack.
Training.
Attack.
Lost. Victory is yours.
This is war, sublime war. There can be no...
Bravo! You did surprisingly well on Arrakis. But there is much more to learn about the barren spice planet. There is a native population. They are called Fremen, a desert people. Wanderers that wear water reclamation units called stillsuits. They are of little use to us, but they can be very dangerous. We must also consider the Imperial Sardaukar. They were born to serve an emperor. Without one, they have no purpose. They may prove to be of great value. Even as we speak, they travel to Arrakis. They will support the house that proves to be the strongest. Of course, that will be House Harkonnen. You would do well to seek an alliance with them as soon as possible.
This is what passes for a Harkonnen military commander? I fear my father is losing his senses.
Our father chose this one to lead our forces on Arrakis. The Book of Fate speaks of a single fire slug bringing defeat upon an entire horde of Anthrok. Appearances can be deceiving.
And optimism clouds judgment.
We shall see soon enough.
Ha!
When he and the Mentat return to Arrakis, I shall go with them to oversee the spice mining.
You? Why should you go? I am the oldest.
My father requests it.
Then he has lost his senses.
The Mentat will continue to oversee you. Now, if you prove ineffective, you witness the fate of our last commander.
So what? I am to remain here on Gedi Prime? Draining the Baron's pustules? Wiping the spittle from his innumerable chins?
Study your charm film book, brother.
You insolent... I shall be Baron soon. Perhaps even Emperor. Then you'll pay for your disrespect, baby brother.
Abject terror consumes me.
Do be careful on Arrakis. A knife in the back can come from any hand. Perhaps even a trusted one.
Doubtless you've heard the ancient expression, trust him like a brother. These two give the phrase an entirely new subtext. Blood will be shed before their private war is over. If you get between them, that blood will be yours. In the meantime, you will continue to capture territories. The Baron's spice must flow.
Mr. President, it's General Carville at the Pentagon on Line 5.
This is Dugan.
Mr. President, I'm afraid we have a heck of a situation down here.
How bad could it be, Ben?
According to NORAD, we've got Soviet aircraft coming at us from...
Our intelligence reports this route is often used by refugees fleeing our controlled territories. Intercept them and leave...
Engineers can enter and capture a powerful gun mounted on a fixed turret. It is heavily armored, but comparatively slow.
Ready to roll. Yes? Yes. At once. At once. At once. At once. At once. Yes. At once. Yes. At once. Yes. At once. 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 Ready to roll. At once. MCV standing by.
New construction options are now available. Construction started. Building ready to place.
At once. At once.
New construction options are now available. Construction started.
Yes. At once. At once. At once. Yes. At once. 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 At once.
Building
At
ready
once.
to place. New construction options are now available.
Yes. At once.
Construction started. Worm sign.
Yes.
Building ready to place.
At once.
New construction options are now available. Construction started. Building ready.
The civilian convoy has entered the combat zone.
Additional space required. Additional space required. Construction started. Training. 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 Training.
Yes. At once.
Training. 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 Building ready to place. Training. Training. Reinforcements are approaching. Training. Reinforcements have arrived. New construction options are now available. Training. Construction started. Training. Construction started. Training. Building ready to place. Training.
Yes.
Training.
Yes. Bring on.
Training.
At once.
Construction
Ready to
started.
roll. At once. Report. Dangerous. Engines engaged. Yes. At once.
Construction started.
This troop is ready.
Construction started.
You have a car ready for action. Ready for action.
Construction started.
Bring this troop is ready. At once.
Construction
Yes.
started.
Yes.
Construction
Need some
started.
power tools. Yes. At once. Yes.
Construction started.
At once. Yes. At once.
Training. 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 Construction started. Training.
Yes. At once.
Insufficient funds.
At once. Yes.
Training.
Yes. At once. Yes. At once.
Unit lost. Unit lost.
Yes. At once.
Worm sign.
At once.
Insufficient funds.
Yes.
Unit lost. Worm attack. Unit lost. Worm attack.
At once.
Construction
At once.
started.
At once. At
Unit
once.
lost.
Attack.
Worm attack.
Attack.
Insufficient funds.
Yes.
Training.
At once. At once. Attack.
Construction started. Guard order cancelled. On guard.
Yes.
Insufficient
At once.
funds.
At once.
Training.
Yes. At once. Yes. Yes. We are prepared.
All the civilians are dead. Their belongings will go to further the war effort. Now dispose of the enemy with the same ruthlessness.
At once. Yes. Yes. At once. At once. Yes. At once. Yes. At once. Yes. At once.
Worm sign. Training. Training. Construction started. Training. Training. Construction started. Insufficient power. Wind traps required. Training.
Yes.
Building ready
Yes.
to place. Training. Construction
At
started.
once.
Training. Reinforcements are approaching. Construction started. Worm sign. Training.
Yes.
Reinforcements have arrived.
At once.
Building ready to place.
Yes. At once.
Unit lost.
Yes. Yes. At once. At once. Yes. At once. Yes. At once.
Guard order cancelled. On guard.
At once. Yes. At once. Yes. At once. Yes. At once. Yes. Yes. At once. At once. Yes. 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 At once. At once. Yes. At Yes! Attack! Yes! Attack! Yes! Attack! Attack!
Victory is yours.
Such amusing sport. We must control through fear and brutality. It is our right and our destiny. Desertion by the local population is proving quite an annoyance, Commander. It must be stopped. A guard was killed by an escapee in this area.
Short-range flamethrower infantry. These with 2 mounted flamethrowers, each capable of firing on the move. The flame tank is designed for close combat. Comparatively fast and heavily armed.
Destroy this town as an example for the rest of Arrakis. They will speak of this event in hushed whispers for years to come. And when they do, they will remember the strength of House Harkonnen.
I'm burning for a fight. Turn 'em and burn 'em.
Training. Training. Construction started. Training. Cancelled. Construction started. Training. 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 Construction started. Training. Construction started. Building ready to place. Worm sign. Construction started. Worm attack. Unit lost. Construction started. Building ready to place. Construction started. Construction started. Insufficient funds. Cancelled. Construction started.
The enemy is approaching.
Training. Insufficient funds.
Yes? At once.
Construction started. Insufficient funds. Upgrading building. Building ready to place. Insufficient funds.
Yes.
Guard order cancelled. On guard. Construction started. Construction started. Insufficient funds. Construction started.
Find me something flashy. At once.
Insufficient funds. Construction started. Training.
Need some power tools.
Reinforcements are approaching. Reinforcements have arrived.
Yes. Flame ready. Order understood.
The base is under attack. Insufficient funds.
Yes.
Building lost. Construction started. Unit lost. Reinforcements are approaching. Reinforcements have arrived.
At once. At once. At once. At once. At once.
Insufficient funds.
At once.
Unit lost.
At once. At once. At once.
Ready to place. Unit
Saws
lost.
engaged. Chop chop.
Training.
Chop chop. Ready to run on the move. Yes.
Insufficient
Yes.
funds.
At once. At once. At once.
Training. Construction started.
Order understood. Yes. At once.
Insufficient funds.
Yes.
Training.
At once.
Construction started. Insufficient
At
funds.
once. At once. At once. Attack. Yes. Attack. Attack. Attack.
Insufficient funds. Training. Unit lost. Construction started.
Yes. At once.
Construction started.
Yes.
Insufficient funds.
Attack.
Lost. Unit lost.
Attack.
Training.
Yes. At once.
Training. Insufficient funds.
Yes.
Training.
Attack. At once. Yes. Attack.
Insufficient funds. New construction options are now available. Training.
Yes.
Lost.
Attack.
Training.
Reporting. Yes. At once. Reporting. I'll check into it.
Enemy structure captured.
Yes. At once.
Victory is yours.
The destruction was not completed, Commander.